use the raise hand feature to ask questions. And Coach, why don't you start off this conference by, this is the second time that the Mountaineer Invitational has moved to a spring event. The other time was due to COVID, but why don't you kind of update everyone on what the thinking was there and what you expect out of it this spring?
Yeah, thank you, Brian. First of all, we're grateful and lucky to have Pete Dye Golf Club host this event. They've really embraced it since we started the program. They've embraced us since we've started the program. 2015-16, I believe, was our first year. And like I said, we always had this event in October just because of the fall foliage, and felt like that was a beautiful time of year. But the problem with October is that it gets dark pretty early, around 6:30, 6:45. Like you said, one year we had to move it to April because of COVID issues, and actually found that we had way more daylight. The weather was just as good. The golf courses, starting to show out in early spring. So we thought we would move it to April for those reasons. Plus our schedule, to be honest with you, it fit my schedule better. We didn't have a lot of events in April. So I love ending the regular season at home because it keeps the guys engaged and working hard because they know they're going to play at home. Everybody is going to play either in the lineup or as an individual, and it's their last chance to prove they could earn a spot, for Big 12. So our guys are really engaged, in this event. They want to play well. They feel like it's a good opportunity to get in the lineup for Big 12s. Whereas last year, the writing was kind of on the wall for a lot of guys. So a lot of benefits, I think, to moving it to April. But again, we could not do this without Pete Dye, their ownership, their staff, their membership. They've really embraced us. They've embraced this event. They're trying to make it a fun event, special event. So we're excited about that.
Okay, if you have a question, please use the raise hand feature. We'll go first to Kevin Kinder.
Hey, Coach, does it also help playing what appears to be a pretty difficult course the week before the Big 12s? I know you get around and play a lot of different courses, but playing at Pete Dye, obviously that's a challenge. Does that help get your guys in that mindset of, hey, we're going to have to grind it out at the Big 12s?
Yes, certainly. I mean, Pete Dye is very visually intimidating, and then we set it up pretty difficult. Maybe not every round, but certainly for 2 of the 3 rounds, it is very difficult. In fact, yesterday we played a qualifying round, and it played very hard. So, and we're very familiar with it too. So, yeah, it certainly helps. It lets you know par is a great score. We feel like par is a really good score. So, kind of that U.S. Open mentality where even if you're a few over par, you're still in it. Some tournaments are different. Some tournaments you got to shoot 15, 20 under as a team. I don't think that's going to be the case, especially on Monday for our event with the weather coming in. So it certainly helps us understand that par is always a great score because we're about to go to Prairie Dunes. We're about to go to Big 12 Championship. It's going to be windy. It's going to be cold. And so you got to, do everything you can to shoot around par.
Joe Bocado.
Sean, what is the status of qualifying? How far along are you guys in the process?
We just started qualifying. Normally we try to wrap it up several days before the tournament, but again, I wanted to play as close as I could, or play qualifying as close as I could to our tournament, just because I felt like the golf course would be very similar. Whereas if we did qualifying in late March or early April, the golf course could be totally different by the time the tournament got here. So we just started yesterday. We're not going to finish until probably the day before practice rounds. But that's the benefit of hosting at home. You can qualify right up until really the first round if you want to. And so it's still wide open. Based on this season, we really haven't had a number 1 or 2 guy emerge. Everybody number 1 through number 9 has a chance to not only be in our lineup, but maybe be in the number 1 spot. And it's just been one of those years where everybody's had their moments. And so that's the exciting thing right now. Like I literally have no idea who will be in our top 5, and the guys don't either. And that's going to get them really focused at practice today and through qualifying the next few days.
Back to Kevin.
You have a lot of veterans in your lineup, but you also have a freshman, Westie, that has done really well this year, that has played well in a lot of tournaments. What are some of the challenges a freshman has to go through in, getting to the top levels of collegiate golf? What have you seen from him that's allowed him to be successful this year?
Yeah, when you look at some of the best players we've had, one of them, their names back here, Mark Getz. His freshman year was not very good. Sophomore year, not very good, and then he figured it out, started to click. Same thing for Logan Perkins. Didn't do much his freshman year, sophomore year. So in college golf, I mean, there's so many challenges as a freshman. A lot of it has to do with off the course. You're living in a dorm, you're away from home, time management. I'm your coach. I'm demanding you be at workouts, practice on time. You've got academic stuff. You're trying to fit in socially. I mean, there's so many things, and for most of our guys, they're from far off. So when they come up here, the grass type, the golf course, everything's different. So you saw that with Westie. It freshman or the fall, he never made the lineup. Really wasn't close. Finally got in the lineup in the spring in his first tournament. He finished 82nd out of 82 players. So he finished dead last in his first college tournament. That was at Arizona. We kept him in the lineup. The very next tournament, he was our low man. He was almost top 25 at the Florida Gator. He was our low player at Puerto Rico. He was our low player at Hootie at Bulls Bay. So he proved it to himself that he belongs. But a lot of times you have to kind of fall on your face, to figure out, okay, I need to learn. I need to get better. This is not going to be easy. And he embraced that hard work. And what I love about Westie, he's a competitor. I mean, he played high level soccer all the way through. He graduated high school. He loves to compete. He's a great team player. He makes everybody else around him better. So I'm excited, not only what he's done this semester, but really what he's going to do over his career, because he's just the kind of kid you want on your roster.
John Antonik.
Hey, Sean, are you a little surprised that you don't have a clear-cut number one right now?
I mean, yes and no. No, because we had Mark, we had Logan for the past 2.5, 3 years. They've literally been our number 1 and 2, and everybody kind of knew that. So this was like the first year that we didn't have that. So I think a lot of guys were, looking around like who's going to emerge as our leader, both on the course and off the course. And so it just hasn't happened yet. But again, if you would have told me Mark would have been our leader his sophomore year, it'd have been hard to believe. So, somebody's going to emerge. It may happen this week, and then they take off with it the rest of their career, or it may happen next season. The good news is I think we do have the pieces in place. It's just we've got to prove it to ourselves. I mean, I really like this team. The results on the scoreboard haven't been there this year, but they're closer than it looks. But the work ethic, the character, the culture, could not be more excited and encouraged by that kind of stuff. It's been the most fun coaching a squad I've ever had, and this might be one of the worst seasons we've had as far as results. But I really like this squad. Excited about next year. But again, it may happen this week, may happen at Big 12s, but at some point it will happen.
Is there a guy on your roster that you think could put up a low number, that's capable of putting up low numbers?
Yeah, I mean, everybody is. I mean, look at obviously, I think what pops into your mind first would be Jackson Davenport, who's been in the lineup a lot. He's shot low records or low scores. Max Green, who's now a sophomore, he's shot a lot of low scores. He's won a tournament in college. He won last year as a freshman. But look at Ollie Menard, a guy that you probably might not think of. He got in the lineup. He shot 66 at Bulls Bay, one of the lowest rounds, for us that week. So everybody, top to bottom. I mean, Curtis Grant, you can go back in his career and look at it. So
it's consistency.
Yeah, it's just we got to do it. We got to do it all in the same day for the team, for it to count. For the team. But I'm telling you, all these guys have the ability. It's just sometimes in golf, you just don't have it all in the same day.
Yeah.
go to Tanner Lambert.
Hey, coach. So you say, you don't have that number one, but maybe that's because you have depth and you're able to shift guys in and out. Is that a positive thing, you think, and gets guys more experience with, a little bit of a younger team, maybe?
Yeah, playing time this year has definitely been evenly distributed. We've had so many different lineups, and normally it's not that way. But like I said, this year we lost, due to graduation after 5 years. Mark and Logan left, so everybody knew, hey, there's an opportunity for me to get in there and play. And the way we structured qualifying this year, every single spot in every single tournament is up for grabs based on what you do in qualifying. Period. There's no coaches picks. There's nothing. Just because I wanted to see who would step up, and who would get that playing time, and they know it's all on them. And I think that's a great move that we made this year because a leader will eventually emerge. Yeah, all these guys are really good. The qualifying is so tight. I mean, we've played over probably 30 rounds this year from the fall to the spring. And I'm telling you, like a shot or two separates our number 3 guy to a number 9 guy. I've never seen that in my coaching career. It's usually a huge gap discrepancy, but they're so close. So I think that keeps everybody really engaged and motivated to make the lineup.
Back to Kevin.
It's a little bit away from this weekend's tournament, but have a new athletic director in place. And obviously you've had some fits and starts with facilities, things like that. Have you been able to talk with Wren yet? I know he's putting together a new master facilities plan, a new mid-range and long-range plan about your needs and, what you hope for the program going forward.
Yeah, Wren's been great. First of all, just a great guy. Really enjoyed hanging out with him, getting to know him, kind of the culture and vibe that he brings. Very supportive. And he's been at a lot of good schools as far as golf, golf wise. I mean, North Texas just built an amazing facility there on campus. So yeah, we've certainly talked. We made some visits together and stuff. And yeah, I'm very encouraged. Trying not to share too much right now, but all I can tell you is we're sitting really good right now. I'm excited and looking forward to next year.
And we'll close with John.
Yeah, I have one more, and I missed the top end of it, but just getting Oklahoma State to this golf course and having the field that you have for this tournament coming up next Monday and Tuesday.
Right, 13 teams. Of course, we're one of those 13. We'll compete. It's a great field. I think obviously highlighted by Oklahoma State, an 11-time national champion. I mean, the PGA Tour players they produce every single year is unreal. So having them come here is definitely special. But VCU's had a great year. Coastal Carolina is always good. Dustin Johnson played there. Marshall, all those guys are very familiar with Pete Dye, a lot of West Virginia kids. So, I mean, it's gonna be tough. We got to play well. But yeah, having Oklahoma State, I think they're the first Big 12 team to come to Pete Dye. I mean, we've had Pac-12 teams, we've had Big 10 teams, we have ACC, we've had SEC. So to get them here, that's pretty special. And it kind of happened last minute. They've had a lot of rainouts, a lot of cancellations. So they ended up with a lot of extra days of competition, and their coach called me. He's like, look, I know it's kind of last minute, but we're just trying to compete before Big 12s. Like we need something. And we've heard great things about Pete Dye. So I thought it'd be a great opportunity for our guys to play with and compete against, one of the best programs in college golf. They set the standard, for college golf for decades. So why not? Why not play against the best? We're going to see them at Big 12s anyhow, so might as well get them up here to West Virginia. And, hopefully something special can happen and we can play well at home. But if not, either way, we're going to learn from competing against them. And it's made our event even more special having them come.
And what real quick, the gallery, what do you anticipate in terms of a crowd? And where are some of the best holes to watch action, to get a lot of the action in Pete Dye?
Yeah, a lot. Well, I mean, every team brings a lot of moms, dads, and grandmas, grandpas, and brothers, sisters. So it's they'll travel. visiting teams will travel. We'll have our fans. A lot of our families will be there as well. It's free admission. You can just walk the golf course, for free. Best vantage point, honestly, obviously you want to see everybody tee off on number one.
Yeah.
And then I would say the back nine is very exciting. You can sit there on 15 behind 15 green and kind of see 15 and 16.
Okay.
Cut over, watch 17, 18. So that's definitely a good spot. Or you can just sit on the back patio of the clubhouse and see basically 7 of the 9 holes on the back nine, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll be wearing gold shirts or not yet, but we're easy to spot when we're wearing gold. But just get out there, walk the course. It is, the weather is great until we host the tournament, and then it's gonna obviously it's gonna drop down into like the 50s.
Crazy.
Be windy, but that's just the curse of college golf. So you want bad weather, schedule a tournament.
Crazy. Yeah. Perfect today. Have it today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. For qualifying, it'll be 80 and sunny, and then tournament gets here, it'll be like in the 50s and windy.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coach, I think that's going to wrap it up. Appreciate everyone calling in. Coach, thanks for your time, and good luck next week.
Thank you.